Hi guys, it's Steffi from the Novelty Corner. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to day 31 of Vlogmas. It is New Year's Eve. Can you believe it? If you saw my Books Beside My Bed video part 2 yesterday, you'll realise that I'm filming these both on the same day. It is disgustingly hot here in Melbourne and I am red and sweating and it is gross. So I apologise. But I'm trying to film these videos quickly so that they go up and we don't miss any days. Today I'm here with my December book haul. There are quite a few books in here. I have read some of them thankfully, but there are still quite a few books because it's December. I only received one book as a gift, but I did receive a book voucher, which I have spent, so I'm counting that as a gift and I will show you what that is in just a moment. I'm going to go through subscription boxes, review copies, gifts, and then the books that I purchased for myself. Two of these books I don't actually currently have in my possession because I lent them to my mother because she really wanted to read them, and I will let you know what they are when I get to the right section. So I have two subscription book boxes that I hauled in December. The first one being The Bromance Book Club by Lisa K. Adams. I've talked about this already. I really enjoyed it. It was just a fun romantic comedy sort of story that is a second chance romance, and I really enjoyed it. I also received A River of Royal Blood by Amanda Joy. This came in my last Fairy Loot box. I don't know anything about it. I will probably read it at some point. I suspect it's going to be something like Three Dark Crowns or I can't even remember one of the other books that I was thinking of, where you've got women fighting for something against one another. That seems to be pretty typical in young adult fantasy. Next I have my review copies, and I received quite a few books from Scholastic, so thank you very much to them. I have Maleficent, Mistress of Evil. This is a novelization of the new film and I have already read this one and reviewed it. It is on my blog and on my YouTube channel. It is a middle grade retelling, so it's very short, very easy to read. I also received Forest of Shadows from Frozen 2. This one is written by Camilla Benko. I haven't read this yet. I will be reading it in the new year, so you'll hear my thoughts on it then. I also received a copy of Higher, Further, Faster from the Captain Marvel middle grade Marvel line, and this one I think takes place when Carol is in the academy, so it's pre the film. And I'm looking forward to reading this one. And I also received this giant book, which is The Marvel Museum, the story of the comics. And I'm very much looking forward to sitting down and reading this and writing a review for it because I love Marvel. I have for a very, very long time. And when the opportunity came up to review this, I said, yes, I'll take it. Thank you. And my final review copy is probably one of my most anticipated reads of next year. And it is coming out early January, and that is A Heart So Fierce and Broken by Bridget Kemmerer. This is the second book in the Curse of Dark and Lonely series, so thank you very much to Bloomsbury for sending me a copy of this. I wasn't actually expecting to get a review copy of it, but I'm so excited that I have one and I can't wait to read it. Next up, we have the gifts that I received in December. So the gift that someone actually physically bought for me and gave to me was Wakestone Hall, a Stella Montgomery intrigue novel by Judith Russell. Some of you may remember earlier in the year that I bought the first two books in this series because one of my students recommended it to me and it was her favourite book series and she really wanted me to read it. So I bought them, I read them, and then I took them back into school. So for Christmas, she bought me the third book because she thought that I would like to finish off the series, and she's absolutely right. So thank you very much to Grace because this is lovely. The really cool thing about these books as well, so I have the really lovely hardcover editions and you can get the paperback ones, but inside the text is the same colour as the main colour on the cover, so all the text in here is purple, which is really lovely. So these are really nice editions. Then we come to the books that I bought with the voucher that I received from my students because yay, they bought me a book voucher. I picked up Star Wars Galaxy's Edge Black Spy by Delilah S. Dawson. I'm just collecting Star Wars books. I really need to finish reading them. And then I picked up 4 books in the Witcher Saga series. So these are the novels in the Witcher Saga and they are books 3, 4, 5 and 6. You also have the 2 prequel short story collections that I have read. But when I went to go and buy these books, because I was going to buy all of them, they were sold out of the first 4 books chronologically in the series. And so I just bought the last couple because this is a series I'm committing to reading. I'm committing to it. You guys can hold me to it. I have ordered the first 2 novels because nowhere that I have seen has the first 2 novels. And then when I ordered them, they said they were in stock and then I got an email saying they're not in stock and they need to order more of them. So who knows when they'll turn up. Well, when they turn up, I will start reading the series, I promise. Which moves me into the books that I bought. So the 2 books that I don't have here, I don't have The Last Wish or Sword of Destiny by Andrzej Sapkowski, and they are the first 2 chronological books in the Witcher Saga, and they are the short story collections that the Netflix series is based off for season 1. I have read those. I loved them. I've already talked about them in this week's Books Beside My Bed video. My mum really wanted to read them, so I have lent them to her. Aside from that, these are the other books that I picked up. I picked up a different edition of Stories of Your Life and Others by Ted Chiang. I love this short story collection. It is all speculative fiction. It features stories of your life, which is what the film Arrival is based on. Arrival is one of my all-time favorite films, potentially my all-time favorite film. I just like collecting editions of it because it's a great collection of short stories. I also picked up a copy of The Lost Man by Jane Harper. I read The Dry and, oh God, what was the sequel to The Dry? I can't remember off the top of my head, and I really enjoyed them, and I saw that they had this and I would like to read this soon, so this is going to happen, people. And when I went to Dimmicks, because it's Christmas time, they actually had a lot of hardcovers for a lot of different titles, which, I mean, they've been increasing their hardcover collection for a while, but this was more than I've ever seen, and granted, they are super expensive here in Australia, but for some of these books, I really didn't care. I did pick up Starsight by Brandon Sanderson, which is the second book in the Skyward, or the sequel to Skyward. The reason I wanted to get this in hardcover is because I have the first book in hardcover and I just want them to match. The next two books are just purely because I love these books, because I actually bought myself second copies of these, or different editions of these books. They had a hardcover edition of The Night Circus by Erin Morgenstern, and I love the story. I'm doing a reread of it in 2020, and this edition has really lovely sort of chapter and section titles that I really liked, and plus it's just a beautiful cover anyway. So I picked up this, and I was super surprised to see that they had a hardcover of The Starless Sea, and it's the one that has the sprayed design on the page edges. It doesn't have a fancy cover or a different color or anything like that, but I really like this design on the side, and I really enjoyed The Starless Sea, so I'm quite happy to have two copies of it. And hey, I count it as my Christmas presents to myself for surviving a year. Another year. The last two books were the official books that I bought myself for Christmas. I bought this lovely edition of Boy Swallows Universe by Trent Dalton. I've heard a lot of things about this book, and it's very well loved here in Australia, so I really want to read it, and I liked this edition a lot. It has a gorgeous design on the inside cover. It says, "Your end is a dead blue wren." It has the most gorgeous hot pink moon end papers, and it has a message and has been signed by Trent Dalton, so this is a really nice edition to have. And then finally, I did pick up the special edition, anniversary edition, whatever it's called, of A Court of Thorns and Roses by Sarah J Maas. I love this series. I will not apologize for that. It has a really lovely embossed cover and gorgeous chapter titles. So yes, I'm not sorry about this. That is everything that I acquired in December. In the comments below, let me know if you have read any of these books and what your thoughts are on them. Alternatively, let me know some of the things that you picked up in December. I hope that wherever you are in the world, you're having a wonderful day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Thanks so much for watching. Bye guys.